Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be talking about Doom Coalition, and we're going to be specifically discussing part 4, and then I'll discuss the box set as a whole afterwards. This, of course, was sent to me by one of my subscribers, Robert, which I really appreciate. Robert's been a big supporter of the channel. He sent a few things so far, including my Triumph of Sutex set over here, which I really enjoyed. And this is nice. It's nice to get a little more 8th Doctor in my life. This is a good set. And I like that artwork, by the way, as well. So part 4 is actually really good. This is basically the Doctor ending up on this giant, massive factory in space, confronting the 11. Which I like. Helen and Liv get stuff to do here and are actually instrumental in helping save the day. And the 11 reveals his plan of basically using a device similar to the factory that Omega used to create the black hole that granted the Time Lords time travel. And I love the reference to Omega, and I love the fact this story gets Omega more right than Russell does. The little bit we get of Omega in this story, which is called the Satanic Mill, which we'll get to that in a second, actually uses Omega better than the show does now, which is just too funny to me. The title of the story makes no sense. The Satanic Mill has nothing to do with the story. It's such a weird name. I mean, I feel like that name is just there to grab your attention. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I mean, there is a kind of preacher character, but he's basically just a robot. And then you have a bunch of workers, which I can't tell if they're like organically grown or robots. The way Mr. Payne, the one worker that works with the Doctor, is described, it's more like they're humans that are grown and then conditioned just to be very obedient. And there's a whole like factory worker class of them. And they're segregated where the men work on one part and the women work on one part, which is also very stereotypical, like 50s, 60s mentality there. It makes me wonder if the 11's a little prejudiced. The 11 didn't bother me as much in this one. Like in part 1, I've always found the 11 not very appealing as a concept. Like a Time Lord with all of his previous memories rattling around in his head. Because I always think of regeneration as classic Who regeneration, where it's the same person with a new body, basically. The personality changes a little bit, but it's basically just getting a new body. Not like the modern series where a new man goes sauntering away and it's all nonsense. Of course, I'm also not big on modern Who regenerations blowing everything up, but we're not here to explain common sense to the people who run the modern show. So I've never liked the idea of the 11 just in general, of all of his past selves rattling in his head. And in part 1, I found it really weird when they're all talking to each other. I found it very irksome. It didn't bother me here. Like, there's less distortion on the inner voices when they're talking to him. So when he's having conversations with himself, I was fine. Maybe it's just me adjusting, but I was a lot more fine with it. He reminds me a lot of the John Sims Master, though, with his kind of, I don't know if irrationality is the right word, but just, and maybe it's the picture on the cover, too, with the kind of whitish hair making me think of End of Times John Sim, but the whole time I'm listening to him, I'm just, like, mentally in my head, I'm thinking of John Sims Master, which I don't like that. But I'm not a huge fan of John Sims Master either, except for in Twice World Enough of Time and The Doctor Falls. He's good there. And basically, I like how, I don't want to say, I guess cocky's the right word. I like how self-assured the 8th Doctor is. He's basically, I'll stop you. If you do this, I'll stop you. When he confronts the 11. He's very confident, very confident. And he does have a couple backup plans in place, which I like. I like watching Helen and Liv taking the initiative and escaping, causing a distraction to escape. I like them doing everything they can to try to help the story. I like I said, the one kind of worker, I think his name is Mr. Payne, who helps the Doctor Even though he doesn't make it all the way through the story, sadly, I like how he helps the Doctor a bit. And when the Doctor loses his Sonic and is set up in this trap because it needs the death of a Time Lord to power this factory, and the 11's trying to give him a painful death, that 8 instructs Mr. Pain to get the Sonic to live, which works and saves the day. And it's a nice full story that wraps up this box set while leaving things open to another box set. And I know there is a Doom Coalition 2, 3, and 4. And I definitely like the ending. It has a really good ending. I like how it resolves while just leaving it open enough for the next box set. The 11, of course, gets away. And he kind of teased that there was more going on the Doctor didn't know about, but it wasn't like heavy-handed to where I feel like I'm missing anything. Like, this set works good on its own. I will say this about the set. I liked it overall. The only story I found problematic was the first one, and maybe that's just because it was the first one. The second one, though, I loved, The Red Lady. That's one of my favorite pieces of Big Finish. That's one of my favorite pieces of Doctor Who. I even have it ranked above Midnight, I think. And it reminds me a lot of Midnight. That's a good thing. Midnight's a good story. I really liked The Red Lady. I mean, if you saw my review of it, I raved about it. It is a phenomenally good story. One of the best pieces of Doctor Who I have ever seen, listened to. And then you had the Galileo Trap, which I found enjoyable. Big step down from The Red Lady, but better than episode 1, but still very enjoyable. I liked it, especially the actor voicing Galileo was very good. And we had a little bit of him in part 4 as well, which I liked. And then this one's good. It's very enjoyable. It wraps the box set up nicely and ends it on a good note. And it does its job of making me want to get more of the Doom Coalitions. Matter of fact, I have added Doom Coalition 2 to the Amazon wish list, and I have added it to the Amazon UK wish list as well, whichever one's easier for people if anyone wants to send it. So the fact that it made me want to listen to more of this range is definitely a compliment, because now I very much would like to get Doom Coalition 2 and give that a listen, because I liked this. It's good 8th Doctor. I like Liv. I still don't have a complete handle on Liv. I need her to get fleshed out a little more. I like Helen. Again, I'd like to get a little more fleshed out on Helen. I heard the Red Lady does a good job really starting her character, because that's her first story. She doesn't really get any character development in 3, and there's a little bit there in 4 where I get more of a handle on her, but both of these female companions fascinate me. It's nice to see the Doctor having a larger TARDIS team, multiple companions, and it not feeling rushed. Even though, again, I do hope they get a little more character development. But I guess because these stories are longer, I feel like they're maybe an hour apiece. I didn't time them, but I think they're maybe an hour apiece. Feels like they have a little more runtime to flesh out a little bit. And I liked 8 in this a lot. Paul McGann's always good as 8. And then I enjoyed the stories. Especially with episode 2, the Red Lady basically being a bottle episode. And I like the fact that they have that in there. It was really, really enjoyable and got me kind of back excited for some Big Finish stuff. Kind of got me back in the Big Finish game, which I like, because a bad Big Finish story can really put you off for a minute. Trust me. Ugh, Blood of the Daleks. Ooh. So it was kind of nice to have a Big Finish collection here that really kind of reinvigorated me a little bit. Enough to where, like I said, I definitely would be interested in getting Doom Coalition 2 at this point. So I really want to thank Robert for sending that. I very much enjoyed it. And now I need to go back and listen to Dark Universe. I actually have Dark Universe. I'd been sent a while back, and I haven't gone through it. I've been meaning to go through it, but I know it has the 11 in it. I've never been a big fan of the 11. So I've been putting it off, but now that I know I can like a story with the 11, I'm going to go back and try to listen to Dark Universe soon. Because if somebody sends me stuff, I feel like I want to, watch it, listen to it, review it. That's like, to me, that's like a social contract thing, So I really appreciate Robert sending this and giving me another set of 8th Doctor adventures I can enjoy, and it looks great on the shelf right here, by the way. Got my Big Finish. As you can see, I don't have a big Finish collection. You can see all of it right here. So definitely hoping to get more Big Finish stuff. So I want to know what you think of Doom Coalition 1, Part 4, and the whole story, the whole box set. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. If there's anything you'd like to send me, I do have my P.O. box down in the description. Check that out. A link to the Amazon wish list is there. A link to the Amazon UK wish list is also there. I also have a P.O. box. I did mention the P.O. box. And of course, a link to the Patreon is down there. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Finn Perkins, and Unknown289. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. And most importantly, thank you for watching.